exactly view the body, but just view it from the hearse, which has a clear glass windows. And from Kennel, the convoy will head towards Sagana. And from there, remember that's the road that heads to Othaya and Nyeri. So from Sagana, the convoy will head down towards Karatina. Also the people of Mathera constituency will also have a chance to bid farewell to their third president, Mwai Kibaki. And after that, the convoy from Karatina town will head down to Nyeri town. And after that, from Nyeri town, there is a road that heads now to Othaya town, where it is the home or where Mwai Kibaki hails from. That is Othaya in Nyeri County, and the body will be taken to the approved school, Othaya approved school grounds, using the Lee Funeral Home's hearse, whose clear whose clear windows will allow Kenyans a chance to view the coffin as the cortege makes its way to Kibaki's final resting place. Those are just live pictures now along Thika Road, and that particular black car that you can see there, 61KA, that is the number plate of the hearse that is carrying the body of the third president, Mwai Kibaki, there being escorted by police motorbikes. And the roads are not quite busy at the moment, probably also today being a Saturday. And at some point closer to the school, we will be giving you details once the body gets to the different destinations, and we will be following up on that as our cameras, as you can see, our reporters are following up closely on the happenings at the moment. That is the live convoy there at Thika Road Superhighway, in which many people remember the third president for. This was the first time that we got to experience a highway in Kenya, and that is one of the legacies that the late president has left to the people of Kenya. He is remembered for a lot by different people, and most of the things that, or the main legacy that he has left behind is on matters, the economy, and, bringing about free education, something that saw over 80% of kids in Kenya get to taste what school feels like, and this was an advantage to the less fortunate in Kenya. Well, we understand that the president was born in 1931 until his demise that is on April 22nd, 2022. And he served the country from 2002 to 2013. The announcement of his death was a shock to many Kenyans. But of course, the family came out just to say that, he had been going through a tough time due to his illness. And this was partly also caused by his illness and his age. Now, at the burial that is in Othaya, the Principal Assistant Secretary in the office of the President, Kennedy Kihara, announced that they are preparing a visitors' capacity of about 15,000 mourners who will be attending the burial at Othaya in Nyeri County. And he stated that arrangements have been made to ensure that there is a flow of traffic during the journey of Nairobi. We also do expect that security will be beefed up. That is along the way as the body is being transported. Right now, the body has just passed, that is Allsops in Thika Road, headed now towards the Kasarani Stadium. And not much going on the roads. As you can see, there is a clear destination, and the public is also hopeful that the weather will be favorable as this particular event goes on. The rain has been experienced in the last few days, and preparations also at the burial place in Othaya are also, done. The burial preparations are complete in Othaya. This has continued for the last few days, as we got it from our reporter Mwai, who is based in Othaya County. He was just telling us that cleaning plants and tidying up of the road has been going on just to give a smooth send-off for the president. So plans have been finalized just to ensure that retired President Mwai Kibaki is accorded a befitting off at his Othaya. Just from that live picture there, that is where this is Roasters, where you have seen that people are on the bridge. Well, they haven't quite stopped at that particular point, but they have just gotten a chance to bid farewell to the late President Mwai Kibaki. The convoy now just passing the Safari Park Hotel right there, and the movement quite smooth as we look forward to give befitting send-off to the third president. And the ceremony will start with a mass at the approved school grounds once the body arrives, and workers on the ground were on Friday undertaking final touches to ensure that everything is in place. And this is a day that will go down history line as we remember the third president of the Republic of Kenya. Well, that is the security inside the venue will be beefed up by police. That is along that is in Othaya area where the body or the burial will be going on. Of course, we also do understand that police are very busy at the moment just to secure the whole route from here, that is in Nairobi, all the way to Nyeri County, where the burial preparations are going on or will take place, just to give the president a befitting send-off. Well, there also will be space available, that is for different leaders who will be attending this burial. Well, some might be using the way of road, others probably using choppers to travel to the Othaya area, that is in Nyeri County. And preparations for the final mass and resting place in Othaya have been completed or are in top gear, with military taking charge of all the work. Remember, he was given a state burial, that is yesterday at Nyayo National Stadium, that was attended by different leaders also from different African countries. And today now is the final journey of the third president, Mwai Kibaki, who was born in 1931 and just passed on in April 22nd, a day that will be remembered by not just Kenyans, but everyone worldwide. He was known for his exemplary work, one of the greatest economic brains from World Bank, that is economic brains. And we will also be discussing a few, we will also be discussing here in studio with our guest, that is Michael Agwanda, who is already in studio. And probably, Michael, good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, Njiru. It's
yes.
So nice to be back here again.
You're welcome. Now, today is the final journey of the third president, and probably from the live pictures there, we could probably see that people have come out, and even if they're not able to stop and probably view the body, but they're out there probably just to get a glimpse of what is happening. And this is an indication, of appreciation of the president during his time.
Wanjiru, I want to wish the nation a beautiful day as we bid farewell to our third president, President Mwai Kibaki. He's going to his final resting place, and the place he was born, a place that he grew up in, and a place that he went to school to.
Yes. A
place that many people sacrificed for him to go to school. His brothers did not go to school to enable him to go to school. They sacrificed their dreams, they sacrificed their education, their ego and their pride to have one of their own become the president of the Republic of Kenya. Then they did not know. But as the farewell and the his traffic leads to his home area, I know that there will be a lot of people by the roadside, and all they want to see is the power. This is an exercise of power and authority that he wielded when he was the president. And it is good of the sitting president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, to give President Mwai Kibaki a full military send-off. That's the greatest honor one could ever have in a nation that is served as the president. And I think that was commendable. That was really beautiful. We were also graced by a number of dignitaries yesterday from across the globe that came. We had President Ramaphosa who was here. We had President Salva Kiir. We also had a number of representatives from other nations that came to mourn with us as a country. And that shows the relationship we have with nations, not just within East African community, but also Africa as a whole, and also to the entire global community. And so for them to come and to witness the great, one of the biggest mass we've ever had in this country for the send-off of President Mwai Kibaki, that was a honor to us as a nation, but it's also a honor to President Uhuru Kenyatta, as well as to the family of the late President Kibaki.
Yeah.
I know that the roads to us here looks like they are empty, but I believe there are people who are inconvenienced in one way or the other. I think the beautiful thing that I can say with this is the speed looks really good in terms of what I'm seeing. And that means that it will just be a matter of hours, at most 1 hour, you'll be delayed out there. And I think it's important that people who are traveling today need to know that President Kibaki is headed to Nyeri, and for that reason, they could delay their traveling plans, or if possible, just wait for a little while. As soon as it passes, then people will be there. But I've also seen some few pictures there where people are lining up and hoping that they could even get closer. And I've seen some security trying to shovel people off the cliff on the bridge that President Mwai Kibaki himself built. That was one of the first projects that this country had, major projects, and that's Thika Highway. And I'm seeing a number of people on the bridge there trying to have a glimpse. I really don't think you can get closer. Let's just agree that you can have a look, you can stare at the convoy, you can stare at the traffic, but please don't be cheated that you can get closer there.
There were earlier complaints, especially from people in the central Kenya, saying that it was a bit unfair because they were not given a chance as, the people in Nairobi here when the body lay at the Parliament building. So what they were saying is that they also needed to have that chance, like a personal last chance with the president. But I probably think they are slowing down a little bit, where we can see people along the roadside, and well, as you have mentioned, not as many people. It's probably a bit early today, being a weekend.
Well, I just want to tell them, Wanjiru, that where those people are, any crowd is, there are cops there. So cops are everywhere. I think cops were drawn from all police stations in this country to make sure that there's tight security along the way, all the way to where he will be, finally his body will be interred. And therefore, don't be cheated that you could be thinking that, oh, we are a big crowd and we could push ourselves and get our way. Definitely not. Cops are there. They are in civilian clothing and they are also in uniform. And so if they tell you to stop, wherever they tell you to stop, stop, because don't think it's just one person. There are a number of cops there that are watching you and they're watching every move. And so the best you can tell people is, look, do not try to even block that motorcade. Don't even try. This is a military exercise, and as you can see, even the vehicle that is carrying the body of Mwai Kibaki is a Kenya Army military vehicle. Basically, what we are saying is that it is a military exercise and it will be done with great precision. It will be done minute to minute, and if they say that it will only take this number of hours to Nyeri, that's what it will take, with plus or minus a few minutes here and there. But they're not going to be deterred by the crowd. I agree with you. Because I'm assuming that this president will be a Luo from Nyanza. It would be chaotic to say that the body can only be viewed in Nairobi, and then soon after that it's headed to his resting place. It will be really chaotic because their culture is they need to give last respect. And so I totally agree and empathize with the situation from people from central Kenya saying, you should have given us an opportunity. This was our son. Yes. And sometimes, even though when we're doing things in a manner likely to suggest that we want to do them to certain standards, let's also agree that there's culture. There's culture of the people, and the send-off, the viewing of the body is an African culture. Not many, there are few occasions where, some communities and tribes really do not have to view the body. Yes. But most African people still want to view the body and give them the last respect. For future lessons, if a leader came from Central Province and passes on, I think it would be prudent to say, look, let's also have a day for Central people to also view the body of their son and have a closure for that reason. If he came from Western, I will expect the same. And if he came from Rift Valley, I will expect the same. I think sometimes we need to give culture also an opportunity to appreciate this man, even though he was a president, but he lived among us, yes, that he walked among us, that he went to the schools around us, and that he still has friends and relatives that want to view the body, that might not necessarily be immediate family members, but people that he grew up with that might never have a chance because he was a president.
That's true.
I really think it's important that they also had an opportunity to do this. Nairobi will not have given an opportunity to everybody in Central Province to come and view the body of their son. Right. And so I think this is something that needs to be considered in future events, in future send-off and farewell of our presidents, and I think it is important that somebody need to listen to that. Nyeri is going to be packed. Are they expecting close to 30,000 people to attend this funeral? But they're also limiting how many people will be able to go to the private, funeral area where now they will be finally interring the body. And that is key for them to know that it's not going to be easy. We've seen some of the dignitary bodyguards being, pulled out from where they're only, they've always been allowed to sit near their leader.
And of course, we will also speak about the procedures, for this state burial, where it all started. But at the moment, those are just like pictures there in Thika Road. I believe that is in Juja area as the convoy now heads towards that is Keno. But at the moment, let's just cross over to Othaya area, that is in Nyeri County, where our reporter Kamau Mwangi is standing by, and he is following closely on this very important event. Plans have been finalized that is in Othaya, just to ensure that the retired President Mwai Kibaki is accorded befitting send-off at his Othaya in Nyeri, that is in Othaya home in Nyeri town. Remember, that is also the place where he hails from, and the ceremony will start with a mass at the approved school grounds. Right now, let's just join our reporter Kamau Mwangi. If you can hear me, Kamau, kindly put us to speed on the latest follow-ups that is going on at where you are at the moment.
Na ile cooperation na maafisa wetu wa usalama na hali kadhalika machiefs wetu ambao wanaelekeza watu mahali pa kuketi, na pia ningependa kutangazia.
Well, we do apologize for that. We seem to not to have the sound from Othaya town, but that right there was Kamau Mwangi standing by in Othaya, where the preparations or readiness for a mass or at the approved school grounds is currently going on in Othaya. But probably just to get you back to the convoy on Thika Road, at the moment they are past around Juja area, and well, the convoy is moving quite fast, Agwanda, as much as we are saying that, you know, it's slowing down a little bit, but we have noticed that it is slowing down where there is a mass of people, and right now we can only say that it's fair, as we were speaking earlier, for Kenyans to bid farewell, even if it's indirectly, at least in one way or another, because I believe it would have been unfair if the body was airlifted from Nairobi to Othaya. But at least this gives Kenyans a chance, Kenyans who appreciate the third president, most of them saying that, you know, he was one of the best presidents they have ever had, and they did enjoy a lot of fruits, you know, coming from his leadership in one way or another. Most of them were not able to probably meet him person to person, and sometimes it's a little bit sad, you know, when you only have to see, you know, someone that you really admire on his last days.
I think the beautiful thing is the military who are aware and cognizant of the fact that Thika Road is a very, very busy road, and that they also need to give people an opportunity to go around and do their daily businesses. And for that reason, it would have been really, really unfair for everybody if we had to move, or if the military had to move at a snail pace on this road. I think really, really good. This is good for the public. And I think it's in the interest of the public that the convoy moves with the speed that they're moving on, and that they allow, you know, people to get onto the road and go on with their businesses. Not everybody is going to stop their businesses because President Mwai Kibaki's final farewell is today. We know that as a country, we are mourning, but we're not mourning in the sense that we've lost such, such a big part of us, in the sense that this is a man that lived well. He lived up to 90 years. And ordinarily, the Bible says that we only allowed to be here up to 70 years. After 70 years, we are living on bonus years. And so the guy has lived on bonus years for 20 good bonus years. That's fairly good enough in my view. And so it is not a time for mourning, but it's a time for celebration of the life of His Excellency Mwai Kibaki. And I think as we celebrate a life well lived, a man who came from a very poor community, a poor family, as we celebrate a life of a man that had no network, had no connection whatsoever, a man that He's, after college, the only thing he thought is he could be a teacher, and then only to be faced from his teaching career to come and help, in the leadership and governance of this country. A man that has populated the leadership and the governance of this country since independence, literally. We are celebrating his life, and this is the time when we look at one's life and say, well, you've lived for 90 years. What are the goods and the bads? What are the take home and what are the things you don't want to mention at all? And that is to everyone that ever lived on earth. Are there things we've done well? There are things we haven't done well. But what is the overall, observation of a life of President Mwai Kibaki? In terms of the struggle and the dream for this country, I think he's one of those few people that today we know that has lived longer, has fought the fight, has been there, has done it all, and has been in every department. He's a guy who knows the government in and out as a legislator, as a consultant, as a minister, as a vice president, as a president. I mean, there's nothing that he has not done at, the decision level of the government. And that is what we need to talk about, the life and time of President Mwai Kibaki. And I think that is what many people who are eulogizing him today will be talking about. Some might not be very good, some will be very good, but I think that's what defines a life. A life is, there is no day that you'll ever live a life where everybody will like you. And there's no day whether you live a life where everybody will hate you. If they did, your mother still loves you to death, you know what I mean? And so he lived his life in a public life. He lived a life where he wielded a lot of power and a lot of decisions. And through those decisions and powers, mistakes are made. But again, do we say that that's the end of our relationship with them? That they will never amount to anything good? Absolutely not. Mistake is to human being, or error is to human being. But when we realize very quickly and pick ourselves up and move on with life and try to mend it, it is better than if we stayed right there.
Right,
but I think
and
for
of
a country,
course we'll continue to talk about also the early life of the late President Mwai Kibaki, because he's no different from any other leaders that we have seen before. And from those live pictures there, the convoy still heading towards Kennel, that is Kennel Town, where we are expecting a stopover. But let's go ahead of Thika Road Superhighway and get to Othaya area, where the burial preparations are in top gear, and speak to our reporter Kamau Mwangi, who is following up on that particular preparation of the mass that we are expecting to start in probably 2 hours or so. Kamau Mwangi, if you can hear me now, what's the latest from there, and how are the preparations and the mood in Othaya?
Well, Shiro, here at Othaya in the approved stadium when the final mass will be, things have started rolling even as the convoy snakes its way here. And I want to show you pictures from the entrance to this place. And if my cameraman would just zoom, the convoy, or rather, that's the entrance where everybody is coming in. There is no other entrance in this to this stadium rather, and once you get in, you are to queue for lunch. That is what they're calling it. And there is bread, there is soda, and there is water for anyone coming in, so that even as the service starts at around 10, according to the program that we have, there shall be no movements. And once the leaders arrive here, it will be a service that will continue. Now, I don't know if my cameraman can get that queue that is outside there. Those are just some of the area residents who are streaming into this stadium. It's about 7:42 a.m. and guests started streaming in this stadium at around 6 6 a.m. because I was here alongside my colleagues at around 5:30, and already there were those that had already queued here to gain access to this stadium. Now on my right there is a tent that where the main service will be, and from the look of things I can see that is about it's already getting packed. It's already getting packed because there is a there is the main tent, and then there is another tent just over there where now most of those that are getting their lunch from here, we shall be, or rather, once they get their lunch from here, they shall be going to that tent while this one gets filled up as the people come in. Now, the program here at the stadium starts at around 10, where we expect the body of the late President Mwai Kibaki shall have come in. And just to give a picture of the security arrangements, now this stadium has been under military, or rather is under the military as of now, and everything that is happening here is being coordinated by the military, and they have surrounded the entire stadium. We have the KDF, we have the National Police Service, we have the National Youth Service, just trying to get order and trying to get everyone to follow the protocol that has been laid around here. I would like my cameraman to show you pictures of police officers that are around the stadium, or rather the National Youth Service officers who are here, because security has given a top priority. Remember, introducing this stadium, I said that there is an entrance there that is fully electrical. You have to be frisked and refrisked just to make sure that it is safe for you to be inside the stadium. Leaders have not yet started streaming in, and we will keep an eye on that even as things continue to unfold. But things are now starting to roll here, Shiro, having, or rather being at around 7:45 a.m. in the morning. So not unless you have a question.
All right, Kamau Mwangi, thank you for that. Of course, we will be getting back to you probably in an hour or so. This is a probably 2.5-hour journey towards Othaya in Nyeri town, where the burial at the approved Othaya Stadium is expected to be happening at about 10 a.m. That is according to itinerary that we have. Well, he says that preparations started way about 2 days ago, and residents of Othaya town are ready to bid farewell to their leader. And remember, this is the place where the late president hails from. Well, security has been beefed up in Othaya town just to make sure that there is peace and order as the service continues or goes on. Also, we have seen long queues of residents of Othaya, or in the entire Nyeri County, already lining up just to get a glimpse or a chance to bid farewell to their late president, that is Mwai Kibaki. And this is the place where the burial will be taking place, and our focus will be there. In the meantime, let's just cross back to the convoy that is on Thika Road Superhighway, where the body of the late president is being transported by way of road. And that particular vehicle that you can see there is the hearse where the body of the late president Mwai Kibaki is lying. And we have just been speaking here with our guest, that is Michael Agwanda, in relation to how this particular process is being carried out, and the convoy there being led by military police. Remember, this is more of a military affair. We have seen different military people, soldiers involved in this particular event. And Michael, let's just talk about the state burial, because, you know, we have experienced, you know, burials before, but this is a unique one. You know, in Kenya, we've only had 5 people or individuals who have been accorded this type of burial. Jomo Kenyatta, we did have former Vice President Kijana Wamalwa, and the Nobel Prize, Peace Prize that is Wangari Maathai, First Lady Lucy Kibaki, and the last one, that was our late President Mwai. But in terms of the leaders, the presidents, he becomes the third president to be accorded this kind of burial. And probably we can talk about what happens in a state burial, because we did see the president, that is Uhuru Kenyatta, immediately announce of the passing of the third president on the same day.
Well, first of all, let me say that I think I need to be in Othaya now, because the stadium seemed to be having some food. That's not the same treatment we had in Parliament building. I mean, those guys didn't even give us water. I mean, they're nice to Othaya people,
and you know,
seemingly.
it's a thing with Kenyans.
Yeah,
Anytime there is an event, they want to keep busy.
They've been given soda there, and they've been given bread. Man, what a honorary funeral, you know. And I can imagine these are thousands of people coming over there. And
I guess it's only also a way to show the kindness, you know, that many people know the president for, the late president for. You know, if he gave us free education, then we can definitely tell, you know, he was a noble man.
You know, I am actually thinking that maybe even the bread and the water perhaps might not have been bought, that his friends might have donated that in the interest of his honor. And because many of these people that are going to the approved school stadium are not going to end up at his home, it is just good to say, look, we want to celebrate with you the life and love, the life of President Mwai Kibaki. And for that reason, you know, we have something for you to eat. In most funerals, there's wali, there's you know, pilau, and there is all this manner of food. We may not be able to cook that here, but look, at least you can have a soda.
Yeah, because you can imagine how many people will be
how many people are there. And so, to me, that's really, really nice to have that to the people there to feel. And when I went to the farewell of you know, the memorial of President Kibaki, I had a soda and I had the bread, and they can tell a story one day. So that to me is really, really beautiful. And I thank the guys who have organized that. In terms of the state funeral that we've had, you mentioned now first president, you know, Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta, and then we had second president, President Mwai, and then we had Daniel Toroy, teacher of Mwai, and then we had, you know, Vice President Kijana Wamalwa, who died in the office, and then we had two dignitaries that we've greatly honored to be